There's something I absolutely hate that is in this game. I also feel like it has a very obvious solution, and that I've seen this obvious solution be brought up many times by many different people. So today I'm going to attempt to illuminate the one of the most frustrating things for me at the moment that I'm growing to hate in this game. In the game right now, I just received an upgrade. Look at this, 460, 462. This is a new shield I just acquired, an upgrade of the 456, 452 previous. Now, what's interesting about this is also row curse, so I get a cursed piece of gear, and it did row a cursed piece of gear that I happen to have on my other equipment, the atrophied 2-piece, which is going to make me do continuous damage, and you can see it's activated because another piece of gear has that on. The shoulders has it as well. You know why the shoulders have it? Because I am specifically, purposely trying not to have my cursed gear get activated. Would you like to know why? Because I am playing the Necromancer. And guess what just activated by me getting an upgrade? Damage dealt by your summons reduced by 4%. But it gets worse. The previous piece of gear, which is a triple stat, it's not like I have a replacement for this, actually wrote damage dealt by your summons reduced by 4% as well. So now I have 2 of those. Oh wait, no I don't. I actually have 3 of them. You see, what keeps happening for me is every time I get an upgrade, I am getting damage dealt by your summons reduced by 4% on this piece of gear. I now have this on 3 pieces of gear. I have to choose whether I want to accumulate 12% damage reduction on my summons in order to have a cursed property effect. I am playing the Necromancer, and I like to do summons. Effectively, all this really has done for me is made me either have to play a build I do not want to do, or choose to require myself to experience negative bonuses that is factually a nerf for a build I was already doing. Now, I could take these negative bonuses of 4% in order to get a lash primary attack, but that's not how the build I want to play in the game actually works. The way I want to play the build in the game is I want to do summons. I like summon Necromancer. If I'm doing PvP, I'm not doing summons, but when I'm doing PvE, I am. I find it enjoyable. This cursed property is taking away my agency. It's making me look at what's happening on the negative properties and then saying, okay, well, I guess I don't get to do that build. I mean, I could still do the build, but literally it's reducing my damage for the build that I want to do. And what's especially annoying about this is I have to choose how badly I want to get fucked. Do I just want to have 6 pieces of curse gear because that's all that's dropping and have no invocations, but also not have the positive of the curse gear just so I do not get the negative of the summons? All of this is frustrating, gets in the way of trying to do a build I actually want to do, adds layers of RNG onto something that is out of our hands. I can't just suddenly decide that I get another triple stat piece of gear that is better and that happens to be cursed. Oh, and it also doesn't have the property that I want. Like, I don't get to control this. It's especially weird to me that we get to re-row these positive stats. Like, I just got this new piece of gear. It's got the damage dealt to summons. Let's say, oh, great, I want to do my summon build. I could try to re-row this and eventually get vexed or something, or let's say I even want to go with a 6-piece slash. Sure, why not? We'll go 6-piece slash. But then now what happens is I have no way of removing the negative summon bonus. So actually, it's better for me just to wait and try to get another piece of gear that happens to be an upgrade that also is cursed, that does not have the negative property on it. We're already gated by the amount of purification shards we can farm. This is a time-gated thing. I don't understand why we're in a position where we're not allowed to reroll the negative effects on these cursed gear as well. The game is taking a dopamine moment. I just got a shield. I was happy I got an upgrade. I immediately was annoyed when I realized this shield for the 10 combat rating upgrade is actually making me do less damage. This was factually a downgrade, even though my combat rating went up. And for me, that is a moment in the game that is frustrating because it feels like I'm losing my sense of agency, my control over my character. It doesn't feel like I get to plan out my own build. It feels like the cursed gear is deciding what is and what is not going to be nerfed for me, and I don't get to explicitly work towards changing that. I don't get to decide when the gear drops what cursed gear it has on it, and I also don't get to work for something in order to reroll and have another chance at that. I have to get an entirely new piece of gear, and then you can be in a situation like me, where you have effectively 3 pieces of gear with damage reduction to your summons on it, but yet here you are a Necromancer who happens to like summons literally the most, and now I'm put in a position of, do I want no cursed properties? Is the cursed property bonus better than having tons of summon damage reduction? I don't know, but now I'm going to put in a position where I have to choose. And unfortunately for me, I don't actually like that because I think what's better is just to not have my summons get reduced as much. I also don't like that the full life enemies damage is reduced by 5% as well. Factually, doing less damage feels bad on an upgrade. Even if you keep the system exactly how it is, it can be fixed for people that get frustrated like myself by adding one very simple change, which is allowing purification of the negative properties as well through purification shards. And if for some reason you think that's too easy, purification shards are too easy to get and you shouldn't allow that, please allow cursed shards or something that you can get even on more time gated where we can reroll the negative effects. But I do believe that having a completely undetermined negative effect on your gear in a game that's locked into combat rating, meaning that I should pretty much always pick whatever the highest combat rating type of gear is literally anyway, forces you to accept those negative properties when you otherwise do not want to. And forcing negative properties onto somebody when they don't want them is very often going to have frustration. There is the side effect I actually enjoy of this, which is that invocations aren't quite everywhere. Stuns in PvP seem down. I do like that. That was probably a W and a good change overall. So I'm not really mad that curse gear is the primary thing. I'm just very frustrated at the implementation of the negative effects and the lack of control and agency we have over our own characters.